Isuzu's mighty F-Series has been a medium-duty segment leader for as long as I can remember, but after 17 years, it's had a major update. It's cleaner than ever with new Euro 6 engines. It's safer than ever with all the active safety technology you'd normally find in a car. It's easier to drive, it's comfier. I have spent a little bit of time with this truck, but I'm eager to spend more time in the cab, and Isuzu's thrown me the keys. We've got to get from Victoria's coast up to their headquarters at Truganina. We've got a day to do it. Let's have some fun. The new F-Series lineup is instantly recognisable, but there are some exciting updates. The massive 52 model F-Series range is loaded with technology, enhancing safety, efficiency and driver comfort. This includes things like bi-LED headlights with auto high beam, advanced driver assistance systems and a new ISRI climate seat. Of course, this is an all-new truck, so the exterior and interior have been completely reworked. It looks pretty sharp from where I'm standing. The bigger F-Series models score a new 6.7 litre six-cylinder, co-developed with Cummins. The DB6A engine is offered with either 191 kilowatts or 221 kilowatts and is exclusively mated to the latest Allison 6-speed auto. A Euro 6 compliant 4-cylinder engine is still available for lighter GVM F-Series models, producing around 177 kilowatts, with the option of a 6-speed manual or 6-speed AMT. At the top of the F-Series tree is the new heavy-duty FX lineup, powered by the brand's 9.8 litre engine, producing 259 kilowatts and 1,437 newton metres, backed by a 6-speed Allison auto. All that's left to do now is drive it. Keyless entry. Cool. In the FVL 260-300, so it's the bigger of the Cummins powered F-Series before jumping up into the FX lineup. But I'm really keen to hear what this Cummins engine sounds like. Not bad. Now the FVL 260-300 6x2 we're testing today is Isuzu's Freightpack model, featuring a ready-to-work 14-pallet curtain sider. It's the more powerful of the Cummins engine ratings with 224 kilowatts and 984 newton metres, and it has a 26-tonne GVM with a Hendrickson airbag rear end that features on most of these models. All right, we're in the F-Series now, out on the road, somewhere between Torquay and Melbourne, and a lot's changed. This is an entirely new truck, which is pretty exciting. It's got a new engine, a new gearbox, heaps of active safety technology, and a more comfortable cabin in my experience than an F-Series has ever had, and it's got to be up there with the most comfortable medium-duty trucks on the market today. So starting with that Cummins Isuzu co-developed engine, it pairs really well with this Allison auto, and that part's evident. It also makes a lot of torque really, really low, so it almost makes this feel more like a European truck. It doesn't feel all that Japanese, but these two work really well together. So particularly downshifting. You know, if I get off the throttle, let the exhaust brake do its thing, that Allison auto's trying to grab third gear as quickly as it can, so it's banging down and slowing us down. We're able to control speed without touching the brakes. And on the brakes, there's now disc brakes all round across the F-Series models, right up to the FX. And what that basically means is you get a really good pedal feel. I'd often get out of a light truck and into a heavy truck, and first time I touch the brakes, you know, you just about throw yourself through the windscreen. But now with the EBS and the disc brakes all round, it's got a really good, consistent pedal feel. Makes these things even easier to drive, really. On the technology side of things, there's a 10.1-inch infotainment screen with wireless smartphone mirroring. So again, car technology finding its way into trucks. There's also 12 active and passive safety systems, and they're more advanced than ever. So this uses a stereo camera, radars. It's able to do things like, you know, lane centering and adaptive cruise control right down to 0 kilometers per hour. It really makes these trucks safer than ever. So while these active safety systems obviously offer your lane centering and, you know, it'll pull you back into your lane and it'll automatically apply the brakes, it's sometimes the subtle features that can really help you day to day. So one for me on this trip has been the traffic sign recognition. So I'll be on a road and I'll go, is it 80 or 60? And I look down and it's recognised a traffic light or a traffic sign where I might have missed it. The driver display in between the tacho and the speedometer has this really cool distance alert system. Basically what it does is it tells me how far, the distance to the car in front in meters, but it also tells me what speed they're doing. On the motorway, that's awesome. If I'm trying to match the speed with someone in front of me, or I don't want to be accelerating, don't want to be accelerating when they're slowing down, that kilometre per hour reading's really, really handy. We're doing some inner city driving right now. This thing does brake and steer a lot better than the outgoing models. That adaptive steering's really, really nice at low speeds because it's so light. The braking's also effortless. I know how much pedal pressure I need, and it never changes. Whereas, before EBS was standard, or before four-wheel disc brakes were standard, that wasn't quite the case. So I've turned on my lane centering, and that's obviously something that you have to turn on. It'll find the lines and start centering you. It's not that invasive, so it isn't a system that's constantly tugging and pulling and trying to center you. It kind of waits for you to wander too much in one direction before it gently pulls you back into the center of the road. And if your lane centering's good, it shouldn't really do anything at all. Isuzu are known for building tough engines, and I think a lot of that comes down to the quality assurance. They're never too stressed, the engines are never too highly strung. But rumour has it, they test every single one of these Cummins co-developed engines when it rolls off their factory in Japan. I don't know if that's true, but apparently they test every single one before it ends up in a truck, which I think is pretty cool if it is true, and it speaks to the Isuzu quality. So this truck's got a 26-tonne GVM. We're loaded, I'm told, to about 70% capacity. So I'm going to assume we're under 20 tonne right now. We're averaging 27 litres to the 100. And we've done an array of driving, like we've done some country driving. I haven't been particularly gentle. So that's not bad fuel use out of this little Isuzu Cummins engine. So you can't really see it because I'm sitting on it, but there's a very flash new ISRI seat in all of these F-Series trucks. It's actually ventilated, so it can blow hot or cold air through. Right now I've got it turned off. I got to experience it blowing hot air earlier today, and it's a little bit too warm for my liking, but in winter it'd be nice. And in summer, if you're in a hot state like Queensland, it'd be pretty cool to have cold air pumped through your seat. So that's a pretty good standard inclusion. They're not a cheap seat. It's also obviously got heaps of adjustability. If we're talking general comfort, fit and finish, the dash is obviously new, and it looks more modern, but also more car-like. I feel like that's a trend that's sort of coming into the truck world. Not only is the technology, like the active safety, the big touch screens coming into trucks, but so too is the design themes, sleek finishes, lots of textures on the dash, smaller steering wheels, better seating positions. They're sort of trying to make these more car-like to drive. It sounds funny in a medium-duty truck, why would you bother? But you've got to remember that a lot of the people driving these now aren't lifelong truck drivers or haven't come out of bigger trucks. A lot of them have driven cars and they land a job driving trucks. So making them more car-like, making them easier to drive is really important. And it's clearly been a focus at Isuzu because this thing looks really refined for a truck. Go back 10 years, that wasn't the case. Isuzu has taken its proven medium-duty F-Series formula and made it even better. It steers better, it stops better, it drives better, it's cleaner, it's more efficient, it's more comfortable. I think they're onto a winner.